The year is 1995. Toy Story, the first feature-length film using only CGI, was released. O.J. Simpson was found not guilty of murder. And Blizzard started development on a little game called StarCraft. No one at the time could possibly imagine the huge impact that this game would have on not just the gaming industry, but across the entire world. StarCraft is the largest selling RTS game in the entire world, clocking in over 11 million sales. And that's just the original game. StarCraft 2 is in second place in the leaderboards with 6 million copies sold. It's pretty easy to say that StarCraft has designed, sculpted, and dominated the RTS genre. Even to this day, RTS games are still heavily influenced by StarCraft. So let's take a little trip down memory lane and talk about one of my favorite game series, StarCraft.
So he doesn't get sandwiched. Here's another attack. Jaedong seems to have the advantage.
Jaedong is unbelievable. I can't believe this is happening before our eyes.
Oh my God, I can't believe this is real.
God.
I can't believe this is real. Okay. Oh my God. This is crazy.
Is it gonna land?
Oh my God. Did it get it off?
It didn't get off.
It didn't get off. I think this nuke is going to land Artosis. Here we go. Oh my God.
Oh, Nada charging in right now. Ultra's popping out.
Hey guys, new chess player. Been playing for about 2 months. I discovered if you get a pawn to the end of the board, you get another queen. Hello, is anybody listening?
It's like little Munchkin kids on
Oh
Halloween.
my God, it is! Look at their fingers!
Oh my God! Oh, we're going in for the tickles.
Here I
Tag it.
Gonna want to keep going. Oh, the stasis! The stasis goes down. Oh, that one was amazing. That second stasis freezing so many units. Continue to deal that damage. A lot of loss anytime.
Oh my God!
No.
Okay.
Oh, 25 kills! Oh my God, movie just GG's.
Okay.
Oh.
Artosis and I figured this out a long time ago. Is if you look at Draco when he's playing the game, it looks like he's holding a mouthful of water with a goldfish in it.
Yeah, no, he's
and it's like
his
he has
mouth
to play.
is always closed, but his jaw is really far down.
Yeah, it's just there's a goldfish swimming around in his mouth, and he's not allowed to spit it out or swallow it until the game is done.
Oh my God, you're right.
But look at that. He looks like a curious bear when he plays. You know, he's like curious bear. He's a curious bear. He's like, I think there's food in there.
The development for the original StarCraft played such an impactful and major role in forming the game that we have currently today. And I know that sounds pretty goddamn obvious, okay? Of course, the fucking development of a game is gonna help structure the game that we have at release. But it was actually the developmental struggles of the game that had more of an impact on the final product than the intended design Blizzard set out with. Blizzard back in 1995 had two very successful strategy games. First, we have Warcraft, Orcs and Humans, which released November 23rd, 1994, and sold over 300,000 copies within the first year. They also had Warcraft 2, Tides of Darkness, which basically solidified the entire company, making it a powerhouse in the gaming industry, and it sold 1.2 million copies, making it the most successful selling game of 1996. The massive success of their past two games put a decent amount of pressure on Blizzard to continue producing hits, and Blizzard was poised to make another hit. And thus, the development of StarCraft began with the intentions of producing a Warcraft spin-off, but in space. The press coined the phrase Orcs in space based off how similar the two series seemed to be at E3 1996. Obviously, this wasn't very good press for the brand new IP that Blizzard was putting out, and was a terrible decision on their part to show such an early prototype of the game. Obviously, Blizzard was pretty publicly embarrassed by this, and rightfully so, because literally just down the fucking aisle from them at E3 was this game, Dominion Storm 3. And if we just put these two games side by side, which one would you choose to play? The top-down NES-looking game, or the 2.5D isometric-looking game with 3D models? It's a no-brainer. StarCraft was supposed to have a 1-year development cycle while launching sometime in Q4 of 1996. However, development started to slow during this year, as most of the team was being sniped by another game studio, who was developing a little RPG game called Diablo. The larger the Diablo project became, the more developers were being sent from Blizzard HQ up to the newly acquired Gondor Studios, which later became known as Blizzard North. This was both a blessing and a curse. StarCraft would have to be delayed until 1998, but with these delays, Blizzard's Bob Fitch was able to do a huge redesign on the Warcraft 2 engine, which is the engine that StarCraft was being developed on. They worked on fixing many of the complaints that the critics had about the game. One such complaint was the art style. They completely remade all of these 2D sprites, changing them from the top-down view to the 2.5D isometric view we currently have today. Each model was created in full 3D and sent off to the artists, where they rendered them out into 2D sprites so the engine could use them. It's pretty funny that Patrick Wyatt from Blizzard had a chat with Mark Skelton and Patrick Thomas from the Dominion Storm 3 crew. And it turns out that their entire E3 presentation and demo was a pre-rendered scene. The people that were playing the game were just pretending to play it. Even back in the golden age of gaming, companies were still trying to fuck over and dupe the consumers. It's not just a recent thing with studios like fucking Ubisoft. While StarCraft will be revered for its multiplayer for generations to come, the campaign was also breaking new grounds at the time, with the introduction of pre-rendered cutscenes, as well as these pre-game lobbies for campaign missions where they were allowed to express and talk more about the politics of the actual game and the story elements that were unfolding. Chris Sagatti said that the subtle touches built a much stronger relationship with the characters that were in this game than we were able to pull off in Warcraft 2. There's a reason this campaign stuck out in the minds of all the people that played this game back in '98 at the release, as well as myself back in the early 2000s at my grandpa's newspaper. Seriously guys, the campaign still holds up to this day. I went back and played through it last month while writing the video, and I fucking loved it. It's not just some side offering for the multiplayer like fucking the later Call of Duty games with like Infinite Warfare and Advanced Warfare and fucking Black Ops 3. I seriously loved playing through this campaign again. It feels so fucking rewarding beating levels, because this game wasn't designed with difficulties in mind. So what you get is what you fucking get. If you want to beat StarCraft 1, you're gonna need to get down and fucking dirty with the mechanics. And let me tell you, you're gonna be getting dirty with these mechanics, because these are some dirty ass mechanics. But we're gonna be talking about the mechanics a little bit later on in the video. The final Terran level in the base StarCraft campaign kicked my fucking ass. Because I was trying to build all these units, I was trying to make this fucking army with siege tanks, but I would just get wiped because I'm not good enough to kill like 500 fucking units. So do you know what I did? I found the winning strategy. I sat in my base and I rushed to battle cruisers. And I babysat the fuck out of these guys. Ran right to the end point where I needed to go, killed them. And massing units is something that I am very comfortable with, just like when I found StarCraft fucking 2 back in 2011, and I was massing Void Rays. And if you played Wings of Liberty back in like 2010 to 2012, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Those moments where you finally beat a level that's been pissing you off all fucking day is the best damn feeling you'll get. And it's something that we're seriously lacking in the current gaming climate. I'm very bad at StarCraft 1, but finding a way to cheese your way around the game and barely beat the fucking mechanics and just slightly eking out a victory in these goddamn campaign missions, fuck man, it's a feeling. And if you liked StarCraft 2's campaign, and I do too, personally, I really enjoyed StarCraft 2, but if you liked StarCraft 2, I honestly and sincerely recommend and push you to giving Brood War and the StarCraft 1 campaign an actual shot, because it's very fun. And I know that the mechanics are scary. You know, selecting 12 units is scary. The unit micro is fucking terrifying. But honestly, it's one of the most rewarding things you could possibly do. And if you're looking for more StarCraft to play, StarCraft 1 is a great place to start. StarCraft had something very, very special about it in comparison to Warcraft 1 and Warcraft 2. It had asymmetrical race design. And what does that mean? Well, you get 3 races in this game. You get the Protoss, the Terran, and the Zerg. Each one of these races plays, controls, and has completely different strategies against one another. For instance, you have the Terran, which are these rugged humans with their guitars and their whiskey. These guys are meant more to be defensive, with their bunkers and their siege tanks and their spider mines, whereas in comparison, the Zerg are these alien parasite boys that have very cheap units, but they mass up a lot of units, and they're more meant to be expanding and sending counterattacks and that kind of thing. But then you get the Protoss, which is this highly effective alien race determined on exterminating fucking everything. They have these spell casting units like the fucking High Templar with their Storm, which just obliterates anything that's caught underneath it. They also get shields, which regen when they're out of combat, and cannons in their shield batteries and all that kind of thing. Each one of these races play so incredibly different from each other that it's hard to even talk about it without just diving into the meta and all this shit. But my favorite guys are the Zerg. They are the best boys. If you're ever gonna pick up this game or even give it a shot, I would recommend trying all of the races to find the one that suits you the best, but the correct answer is gonna be Zerg, because Zerg is the best race, the best boys. I guess we should talk about the mechanics of the game since I brought it up a couple times in the campaign section. So StarCraft came out in 1998 and was built off the Warcraft 2 engine like we discussed previously, which had some limitations. One big one was the fact that you could only select 12 units at a time. 12 units in a strategy game that has a max cap of 200. Literally, it becomes impossible to manage your entire army as well as everything that's going on in your base, including buildings and fucking your expansions and all that shit. It becomes impossible. Generally speaking, yes, it is not the most user-friendly game in the entire world, especially since the unit AI in the game controls like a senile old man who escaped the senior's home. However, the fucked AI in the game and the fucked unit selection of the game adds for a very interesting comeback mechanic not really seen in StarCraft 2. When it gets further into the game and both of you are controlling 200 armies and you're running like 5 different bases at the same fucking time, people are gonna make mistakes. And I guess that's something that I actually really like about this game, because even me, being completely trash at the game, sucking dick at Zerg, I can still win a game when a Terran decides to just fucking waltz across the map and walk into like 15 of my lurkers. So, I guess that brings us to talking about the balancing in StarCraft Brood War, which is non-existent. And before you start screaming at your monitors, alright, calm the fuck down, I can hear you screaming, Damien, it's way more balanced than StarCraft 2! Let's just have a talk about how StarCraft 1 is balanced. The fact that Brood War has all these fucked mechanics plays very well into the hands of the balancing gods, since both players need to overcome the fuckedness of this game. Dead serious, the only reason that this game is at all balanced is because the fucked pathing and the fucked unit selection. Seriously, if we take any unit from Brood War and put it over into StarCraft 2, it's going to be fucking insane. For example, 2 lurkers in hold position can fuck an entire line of Marines in less time than you can react. The High Templar storm range and size and damage is outrageous. The Reaver can wipe an entire probe line in a fucking second. The Siege Tank deals so much damage, I'm surprised it doesn't leave a fucking crater in the map when it's done. Honestly, I can keep going on and on and on, but these are just the things that I pulled right from my memory right now while I'm recording. The balancing of the game is more about making everything incredibly strong to overcome the fuckedness of the mechanics. The map design plays a much larger role in the balancing act of StarCraft Brood War than in StarCraft 2 because of the mechanics. For example, if we take Echo, which is generally known as a pretty unbalanced map towards Terran against Zerg, we can see that there's only a 5% win-loss ratio difference between Terran and Zerg. But if we look at a map in Brood War, which is generally weighted towards a different race, like Heartbreak Ridge, we can see that the differences between the win-loss ratio is 64% weighted towards Zerg, which is pretty fucked up. To be honest though, I don't really care about the map balancing in the game or the unit balancing in the game, because the real challenge is the fucked mechanics. The balancing between whether a siege tank deals 70 damage or 65 damage isn't really gonna play much into trying to control 12 fucking units. We can't talk about the multiplayer of Brood War without talking about esports and the community. And I have literally spent more time watching esports on Brood War and hanging out in the community over the past 18 years than actually playing the fucking game. I was never good enough back in Brood War to ever ladder competitively or even slightly competitively. So I spent a lot of my time watching pro games. And esports was practically birthed with StarCraft, with the formation of GOM TV, OGN, OSL, MSL, WCG, and the formation of KESPA. StarCraft around 2001 exploded in South Korea. And with the increasing viewership, we started to get higher production tournaments. And this is known primarily throughout the community as the Golden Age of StarCraft. But personally, I believe that there are 2 Golden Ages of StarCraft, and we're gonna talk about that in a future video, so look out for that one. Anyways, StarCraft was being broadcasted on Korean television back in the early 2000s, something that we have hardly even scratched the surface on in the Western culture with games like Heroes of the Storm back in 2015, and more recently, Overwatch. I think this year is being broadcasted on ESPN. Korea was incredibly ahead of its time, and just look at some of these fucking tournaments. Look at how incredible these are. Like, these rival today tournaments, dead serious. Literal gods were born during this time. Slayer's Boxer, Flash, Bisu, Stork, Guillaume, Jadong, Jelizer. I could go on and on and on. These guys can literally sell out stadiums by themselves. And fuck, man, they still are to this day. Okay, 21 years later, they are still selling out huge stadiums with tournaments like ASL, a tournament run by Afrika TV, the guys who bought GSL from GOM TV back in 2015, as well as the KSL. Back in 2011, I really wanted to become a caster. So, I went back to cast some old Brood War VODs of Jadong versus Bisu. I casted this very game, and I had no idea about anything that was going on, because prior to that point, I've only really ever gotten invested into StarCraft 2 and learned about StarCraft 2. So what I would do is I would watch the replay and the cast over and over and over again, memorizing everything that happened in this fucking series so that I could cast it somewhat like a benevolent god. I no longer have any of the footage of this because I went through my 16s and 18s and whatnot and became super self-conscious about everything that I was putting out, and deleted all of it, which yeah, that's literally the only thing that I regret in my entire life is not archiving my old shit and deleting my old YouTube videos because, dude, I've been posting videos on fucking YouTube since 2008. I've been streaming on Xfire, Justin TV, Twitch TV since 2009, 2010 is when I started casting on Xfire. At least I still have the memories of it all, and I'll never be able to lose that. Speaking of memories, since, hey, I'm a YouTube channel and I'm a YouTuber, so I should structure my videos so that they're sort of digestible, I guess. I don't fucking know how to do this shit anymore, dude. Or I just show up and fucking talk to a camera and write a script for a goddamn month, okay? I remember when I was back in 2011, 2012, I moved to a new town, all right? Had no friends, nothing. I used to hang out in the library with the nerds, and we became really good friends. And I remember we used to play StarCraft 2 and StarCraft Brood War in the library at lunch on our, like, terrible laptops, running, like, StarCraft 2 at, like, fucking 15 frames a second. We're sitting there trying to fucking play this game. We're all in Bronze League hosting these, like, shitty fucking LAN tournaments in the library, and there's, like, 10 of us. Fuck, man, that was so much fun. I remember we decided that it would be probably better to play on the actual computers in the library instead of just on the laptops and using like a fucking trackpad. So we installed Brood War on the boot server of the computers, since our library computers would wipe themselves every night. So we put them on the boot server so it would just reinstall Brood War on it every fucking day. So we would always come in and we'd just be fucking playing Brood War at lunch and stuff. I remember whenever we'd have like projects or anything like that, I would just be playing fucking Brood War on there. And yeah, I'm glad that I got to experience some of like that stupid shit of just like installing Brood War and just playing fucking so much Brood War through high school, like a lot of people got to experience back in 1998 with the original release. So I'm glad that I have those memories. And honestly, some of the best memories that I have in my life from gaming has to be boiled down to Halo, Call of Duty, Mario, SimCity, and StarCraft. I'm very grateful that I was able to experience playing Brood War like the older people in the community experienced it back in the day as well. Fucking around in school, playing Brood War. Thank you so much for watching this video, everyone. It meant a lot to me. StarCraft is a very big, impactful game for me. I just wanted to cover StarCraft 1 in this video. We're gonna dive into StarCraft 2 sometime soon. I don't know when I want to pull the trigger on that video because I want to talk to some of my old StarCraft 2 friends and bring them in on it as well. See if I could talk to Pig or someone or Winter and see if they want to come on, and Roddy, see if they want to come on and do a feature on the video. And yeah, so there will be a StarCraft 2 video coming very soon, since StarCraft 2 is where I have most of my StarCraft memories. Like, fuck, man. Dude, I can't wait to I can't wait to show you that video. Holy fuck. StarCraft 2 is such a good game. Oh, but StarCraft 1's great too. Anyways, thank you so much for coming by and watching the video. Subscribe to me, please. Please. I want to hit 1,000 subs this year. That's the goal. 1,000 subs. We get some likes on the video too. This is a pretty long video. It's pretty annoying to record. It's fucking super cold in the basement. It's like negative 40 degrees outside right now. Where I'm recording, I have to turn off the fucking furnace because it's so damn loud. So it's like probably like 5 degrees right now where I record. So it's fucking cold. So drop a like for the coldness, baby. Anyways, we have a gaming channel as well if you want to do that. And thank you so much to Dark again for subbing again on Patreon. That's fucking awesome, man. $5 goes a long way for me, you know, being somebody broke, trying to fucking pay for this goddamn house and pay the rent and shit and paying fucking food and fucking editing software. Editing software is $80 a month. $80 a month for me to have Creative Cloud. Are you serious? $80 a month. I don't even make any money off YouTube. So Dark, thank you so much for doing that. That means a lot to me, man. And yeah, this will be a good year for us. Hopefully. I have 2 more StarCraft videos coming out, probably scattered throughout the next couple months. So thank you. I'll see you all on the next one. Sub to the gaming channel as well. Holy fuck, I forgot about that. Dead Space. Yeah.